welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Shawn.
Here we are.
Yes, we are.
Comic books.
Jen is looking great.
Oh, thanks. I have applied pressure to Shawn to get him to say that I look good.
No, you didn't.
I have paid him many dollars.
No.
This is advertising for me. And it comes at quite a hefty price.
No price. Husband and wife price.
How much does that cost?
It's an eternity.
Oh, fuck. So we were discussing what we wanted to talk about at the top of the show. Mm-hmm. You went to a gaming convention with Joe from I Can Talk Kayfabe.
Yeah, me, Joe, and Joe's other buddy, Shawn. We all went to Pomona, California.
Where exactly is that?
Pomona, California is pretty much like around Frankenstein's.
So it's in the Inland Empire?
Not inland, but San Gabriel Valley. Okay. That sort of direction.
That way.
Yeah. It's actually on the fairgrounds where they have the LA County Fair.
Oh, okay.
So I got to go on the fairgrounds.
I always wanted to go there.
Yeah. Joe says it's a big ripoff.
Yeah?
Because basically, you pay a bunch of money to do a lot of expensive things there, and then you don't really get your money's worth. And things like going on rides, apparently that's a ripoff. So Joe and me and his buddy, we all went out to Pomona. We got to mess around with some video games. Basically, because there's two video game conventions going on, I guess. I forgot the names of them. I even forgot the name of the one I went to. But it was basically like... one was like more of like a sellers convention at Frankenstein's, where I guess the NES James Rolfe, the video game nerd, was there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like all these other video game notables were there. Pat, the NES nerd.
YouTube guys.
YouTubers.
Yeah.
Who actually, I'm going to say, I'm big fans of these guys.
I know, we watch them all the time.
I like those guys a lot. But,
yep, all the time.
Well, they have, what? Am I not supposed to watch them?
No.
I feel bad now.
I'm sorry. That's not my intention. I was just going to say, I watched many of these videos because you watch them all the time.
I do. I watch that. Watch What Culture.
I don't mind What Culture. I like that.
They have lists.
For me, the gaming videos get a little bit boring.
Well, the gaming...
because they go on so long.
Well, the gaming video... What, you mean you talk about the Cinemassacre ones?
No, when they are those when the two dudes actually play the game?
Yeah.
And then sometimes they play it really shitty and then they just talk about how they're dying. No. And that goes on for like 40 minutes.
Well, they just bullshit, just a part of the kind
of like our podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of like us, but it'd be like us just playing video games. We could be playing video games during this.
That for me gets a little bit tedious.
Yeah.
But I like the What Culture list stuff.
Yeah.
I like to see, 10 Batman villains who should get their own movie or whatever.
Yeah, no, they do a good me and Joe and his buddy went out to this convention. It was fun. You paid $15. And you get to play a bunch of video games, and there's a bunch of vendors there. So this one was actually much more my speed, because the Frankenstein's one didn't have a bunch of stations, at least as far as I know, it wasn't set up for you to...
actually play
games. Maybe it was, I don't know, but not to the extent that this one was. Not that I was surprised that it wasn't entirely that.
Yeah.
Because when I went there, it was just a bunch of... There's half of it was vendors, and half of it, they would have these long tables with different consoles set up along the way. And then in the very back, they had a bunch of arcade games all set up there, and they were set for free play. So you could just sit there and just play a bunch of games as long as you wanted, and you could beat them or whatever. It was a lot of fun. So I got to see some stuff that, never didn't know about, see some stuff that I never played in the arcade.
See that guy who was in that documentary?
Yes. Why am I blanking on his last name?
I don't know. He was in the King Kong.
Yeah, Billy Gardell. No, not Gardell. That's a comedian. Billy Mitchell, I think is it. Yeah, Billy Mitchell from King of Kong, which is a great documentary. Mm-hmm. And he is the king shit of video games. He's basically... Somebody posted a picture of him next to a picture of AJ Styles in a suit.
Oh yeah, I could see that. They have the same hair,
and they have exactly the same hair. And this guy, and he's the guy. I'll say this, that documentary came out I'd say probably 15 years ago, or 2003 maybe, 2004-ish. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's definitely over 10 years. The guy looks exactly the same. Mm. He looks like he hasn't aged a day. And he's looked like that for a long time, I assume.
I bet he has a good skincare routine.
He does.
And probably good hair routine.
Oh, he's got the best hair routine.
He's got to have a good hair routine.
Him and AJ Styles do their hair together.
Oh, man. AJ Styles, can we just say that he has, like, the shiniest hair?
That's the thing, too.
He looks like a Pantene ad. Every time he comes out, he's like, look how pretty.
The thing about AJ...
He just tosses it, and it just, like, you could just slow that shit down.
Yeah. No,
it's like Beyonce in front of a wind machine.
If he did a commercial for Pantene, like you'd be like, oh, that's beautiful hair.
I'm surprised they haven't approached him yet.
Because and the thing about AJ is like he didn't always have that beautiful hair.
Mm-hmm.
Like he started when he was younger. He always had like the short hair, kind of like I do, you know, with the sticky up, you know, whatever. And then just like all of a sudden, he's just like, I got long, beautiful hair.
Yeah,
like he just.
Look how pretty my hair is.
Fucking killing it. And he's, you know, like what? He's a couple of years older than us.
Yeah.
So.
Look at that pretty hair.
Yeah, shout out to AJ Styles' hair. But yeah, he wasn't there. But Billy Mitchell was there, and he had beautiful hair. And I got to, play some games, and I played so much stuff. They had like, I don't know, I showed you, I put a picture on my Instagram. You probably saw it. It was like the tiny TV.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Like the one you have to tune in.
Oh, yeah. The one that you would like, your dad would carry with him when he went like camping and stuff.
Right.
Like, at least my dad.
It was definitely a camping TV.
And dads had them.
It's definitely a camping TV.
Yeah. And you could like hook it up into the car battery. My dad totally had the little gray one.
I remember for whatever reason, we had one in our house, and my parents let me watch. Well, not let me. Well, maybe because we were like, I want to watch something and whatever. We watched the Hogan Family. Mm-hmm. Not Hogan's Knows Best, but the Hogan Family. Do you remember the Hogan Family?
No.
Do you remember Valerie's Family?
No.
Valerie Harper. She had a TV sitcom. Yeah. Well, anyways, this was a show on NBC, and Valerie Harper stopped doing the show, so they said she got killed in a car accident, and then they brought in Sandy Duncan with her glass eye, and she was the new
My
mother.
My grandmother had a glass eye. Fun story. Anyway, continue.
I knew a bunch of people with glass eyes.
Yeah.
They're more common than you think.
Right?
I am certain we have probably like at least like 5% of our audience has glass eyes.
Well, you know what? Because now, like my grandma's was like the old school, like glass eye didn't move, so it was kind of weird. But when I was in high school, I went to high school with some guy who had like a glass eye, but it was one of the ones that had like the thing in the muscle. Mm-hmm. So when he would look, it would move, so you couldn't even tell, but he would just take it out, and then it was fucking weird. But
yeah, I don't like that.
He'd be like, "Look what I could do! It's a party trick." But
Yeah,
because you couldn't tell, because it would you put it in there and it would move like so no one could even tell.
Yeah, no, but that was a show. But I remember watching that show on that TV for whatever reason, and then I also watched that cartoon show Cops, COPS. Cops, not like cops, like Bad Boys Cops.
There was a cartoon?
There's a cartoon called Cops, COPS, and they were like half cops, half robots. But like there were men who like had like shit in their chest and they would.
Oh, maybe weapons. I remember that.
There's a DC comic actually.
I remember that vaguely.
Yeah, I think
sounds familiar.
I think I got to look it up actually. Because I'm curious about, because I had some toys too. But anyways, so we remember. Anyways, they had those TVs there, and I played Primal Rage. That was hooked. The TV was hooked up to a 3DO. I was playing Primal Rage on there, and then I played a little Sega Saturn. I played a lot of things.
Yeah,
had a lot of fun.
Good.
Just being able to fuck around, just look at stuff. You know, that's always a good time. You know, just looking at how many. Basically, it's kind of like the video game vendors are like comic book vendors where you'll walk by and like, if I collected a bunch of video games and it's like, oh, I got this for, $5 or whatever. And you see somebody selling for 20, you go, that's not worth $20. That's why I say that like every comic book vendor, when somebody's like, hey, I'm selling this, this random issue of X-Men, for $5 or $6. And I'm like, fuck you. It's 50 cents. Give me that.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. Why did I just pretend to grab it?
I don't know. You're acting out on a podcast, which is a great medium for it, an act out.
I must have really wanted that comic.
You really did. Because you know what? You were thinking about the comic book sale we're going to go to this weekend.
Oh, shit. That's right.
That's right. That was called a transition.
Nice.
So Jeffrey's, one of the stores that we go to down here, they are having a 10-cent comic book sale.
I like that.
On Saturday, which, of course, we have to go. I have no idea what's going to be there.
Well, here's what I like about it, is that I can literally spend $1, get 10 comics, and be done. Like, I like that.
I know. I'm excited to go. I don't know what they're going to have. I mean,
it's going to be Drek.
Oh, of course it is. And it's perfect for our collection.
Yeah. Well,
so, I mean, if I can get some old, nice 70s comics, I'd be a happy person.
Yeah, maybe I could fill a few holes. I haven't.
Of course, I'm still, Catwoman. Looking for those.
Well, here's the thing. I haven't been nearly as vigorous in my comic reading lately. I haven't reading I finished reading. Wait, did I finish reading it? I have to think.
What, your Spider-Woman trade?
Yeah, I can't remember if I finished reading it because the last I left, I was reading the double issue, which it ends on, and Spider-Woman and the Fantastic Four and the West Coast Avengers go to like Wally World, and then their kids get abducted.
Great,
but they go like after it closes. Because, like, somebody let them go and fuck around. Oh, you know what? It was the first ever self-automated amusement park that they go to. And somebody let them try it out. And and then their kids go missing, like, almost right away.
Man, don't tell Silicon Valley.
Oh.
They'll like, invent it. Because they're already like, you know what I'm going to invent? A people transport. It's going to be like you can order it on an app. And it's like Lyft, but with more people. Look, you're like, stop inventing fucking buses.
Well, how about this? How about
For fuck's sake.
Look, you know what? How about this? How about you invent an app that allows me to access like a Justice League transporter.
Sure.
And so it could take me places.
But I feel like the first couple tries of that is going to be like that Simpsons episode where like that Halloween Trios of Horrors where the cat and the dog go into the thing and they come out like one with two heads and one with two asses.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be like that. So maybe
100%.
you might not want to.
Well, I'm not going to have any. Do you think I'm going to be one of the first people to try it?
Oh, no. We don't have enough money.
So many people will die and be mangled before I get a chance to step into one of those things.
Yes.
Of course, I'll probably go in and it'll malfunction and it'll just transport my...
Will you have two asses?
Yeah, it'll just transport my dick somewhere. I don't know why I thought
Will it come back?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just wanted to clarify.
I don't know why I thought that. Because
I mean, is it only your dick, and how long is it going for?
Last week I was so good at humor, and now this week, like...
this week we're really struggling.
I am...
We're a mess.
I am just dying on the vine.
Because why? It's because we're doing this on a different night than we normally would because you went to your convention and you didn't get back. You were out there for a while, which is fine. And then by the time you got back, neither one of us wanted to do anything.
Yeah.
So here we are on a fucking Tuesday night doing a podcast.
Ugh.
When I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning because of my stupid novel.
Okay.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
I'm just complaining because I have done this to myself.
But you do so well.
Oh, yes.
Very proud of John, guys. Be sure you guys know that.
Thanks.
So real quick, before we take a break, you actually wanted to talk about wrestling for once.
I did. Because it's coming up on Sunday, I believe, is the Royal Rumble. I am not a wrestling fan.
No.
As we know. I know a lot about wrestling just because, through osmosis. But I am actually excited to watch wrestling this weekend because there's going to be the very first ever women's Royal Rumble. So that means 30 lady wrestlers in a ring wrestling. And I'm actually very excited for this.
Yes.
Because I watched the Mae Young Classic. I was excited for that too because I'm here for lady wrestlers.
Yeah.
Not like models who they kind of taught how to wrestle. Like legitimate athletes.
Yeah.
Ladies getting shit done.
Yeah. And the great thing
here for it.
Yeah, the great thing about this Rumble too I'm excited for it too because it's very unpredictable at this point because there's probably, I'd say at least, it's almost like definitely just more than 10, almost, it feels like it's almost half the roster or half of the lineup. You don't know who's going to be in there.
Right,
so there's a lot of surprises.
Women. Yeah.
There's a lot of surprises to come from NXT, from the past, from who knows where. Who knows who they're going to get.
Do you think Beth Phoenix is going to come?
She might. They might have, because that's how the Rumble goes, is where occasionally if they need to fill a spot, with like let somebody in there, they throw
like
them
a
in.
Bella.
Yeah, or I think Brie might come back. I don't think Nikki's coming back.
Which one's the one with the neck?
That's Nikki.
Okay.
Brie's the one that's married to Bryan.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So she might come back because they also threw out a bunch of them on Raw last night.
Right. Well, it was the 25th anniversary or whatever.
So they had a few people like Trish Stratus was there, and Jacqueline was there, a bunch of random Hall of Famers. So they might, we'll see some people. We'll see what they want to do. Mm-hmm. They've been thinking. I just thought of a genius booking thing that they might do for the Women's Rumble, and what I believe is going to happen is Somebody's going to win the Rumble. We don't know who. It's not someone who's going to win the Rumble. What I think what's going to happen is...
It's going to be Asuka.
Okay, let's say it's Asuka. And whoever wins the Rumble, either Alexa Bliss, or maybe both, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, who are the champions, who are not going to be in the Rumble, come out to stare them down or congratulate. Because whoever, obviously wins the Rumble gets a shot at WrestleMania for the title, whichever they choose. So they come out and they do that. And what happens then is that's when Ronda Rousey and her crew show up. And they beat the shit out of... I think preferably they're going to... Well, preferably...
So you don't think they're going to be in the Rumble itself? They're going to come out at the end and do kind of one of those, like, we're here.
Like just an invasion kind of thing. Because they've already set the seeds for that. And I think what they're going to do is they're probably not going to do it with Alexa Bliss. But they'll probably... If they show up, they'll beat up, like, Charlotte.
Yeah.
As I said preference, but it's like that's just kind of how they progress it because it's supposed to be... What that's going to do is
because it's the 4 horsewomen or whatever.
What they want to do is they want to do the 4 horsewomen, like Ronda and her crew and Shayna Baszler and all that along, and have them fight Charlotte and her crew. Okay. And so what that happens is they do that, they beat down Charlotte, and then Carmella shows up with her Money in the Bank and cashes in, and that gets the title.
She still has that?
Yes, she still does.
Oh.
She still does.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, she's had it like forever.
Well, she has it for a year.
Oh, I know, but I mean, like, I feel like that they always are just like, I have Money in the Bank. Next day, they trade, like, cash.
No, I know. Sometimes I think it's been over almost 6 months, I think, at this point. But, yeah, so I think that'd be a way to get the belt off of Charlotte in a way that they can establish one of their, because it's WrestleMania season, so they have to build this up.
Right.
Or they can always save that angle for another time.
Right.
And, do that thing. But I think doing it at the Rumble would be really unique and really establish the Rumble, and also in a way, at least for a women's Rumble.
Right.
Yeah, because it's the first time they're doing it. But also in the way, it actually might be better to do it that way because the women's Money in the Bank ended so poorly.
Yeah.
With, Carmella just getting handed the suitcase by a man.
A man won.
Because Vince McMahon.
Yeah, the first women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and I thought about this, and I thought
that's bullshit.
Right, but yeah.
You can do that on the second one.
You can do it anytime after.
You can do it any other time. Don't do it on the first one.
Just have a woman win.
That's all.
That's all you needed to do. A woman needed to win. That's all that happened.
Yeah, Carmella could have still won. Yeah. It would have been fine. Yeah. But she just needed to win.
You could have had
anybody. Did not matter. I could have won.
You didn't need to have a skinny man climb the turn
with no chin.
With no chin, a no-chinned man.
Yeah.
Climb the ladder to get her the thing and literally just go, here you go, toss.
That's how that works.
And she catches it and she wins.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
That is like.
That was really upsetting, actually.
That is also like the most TNA Impact Wrestling thing, or at least maybe not now, but like TNA like in the 2000s or early 2000s or whenever, like mid 2000s. I could see them doing that.
Yeah,
but
bullshit.
Yeah, so we'll
wrestling.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sunday.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Comics and wrestling this weekend.
I know, 10-cent comics. I really hope to just spend like $2 and get some dingers, because I don't really need to keep adding.
Oh, no, neither do I.
But I want to take advantage of a 10-cent sale.
Well, I mean,
kind of have to.
I
can't. I'd be really disappointed.
We have to at least go.
Yeah, at least go and see if something is like, and what's the worst? You're out like $2?
Yeah.
That's like a lottery ticket.
Yeah, all I'm hoping for is it's not, I mean, it should be a nice weekend for it.
Yeah, it'll be
so it's not going to be like, hot or whatever. I'm just hoping it's not going to be like, sometimes when it rains and stuff, they have to try to cram it under a tiny tent.
Oh, yeah.
And then you were just like fighting masses of humanity to get to the boxes. And that's fucking bullshit.
If it rains, I don't want to go. I don't know if I want to go.
No, you know what?
Especially for the 10-cent sale, because that is, look.
It's a mess.
Shout out to people that read comics and like comics, but man, sometimes you get the dregs.
Well, it's just there's going to be a lot of people.
A lot of people, but also just like a lot of rude people.
Yeah, especially if it's raining and everybody's under because they only have one tent.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought they had more one tent.
Like cram everybody into it, and you're just like, oh, I hate everything.
Yeah, it gets really uncomfortable.
It
so
does.
maybe we'll have to.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We'll have to play by ear, but all right. Well, let's take our break. When we come back, we'll talk about our book for this week.
Hey there, my name's Nathaniel, and I'm here to tell you about an exciting new podcast.
What are you doing?
Oh, hey Liz, I'm just recording the podcast promo.
You're recording the promo for the Punch Like a Girl podcast?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, I'm one of the hosts. I have more podcast experience. What?
You're going to sit there and mansplain to people about a podcast focusing on graphic novels and trade collections with female protagonists?
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I at least tell them how it's available on iTunes and Stitcher and at punchlikeagirlpod.wordpress.com?
No.
Shoot. Alright, well hang on, I'll delete this. We'll try again.
That's not delete. That's the button for publish.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Quasar.
Quasar.
Here's the thing.
I don't know why I don't know why you say it Quasar.
And there was a run where I was saying it correctly, and now all of a sudden
you get confused.
I get confused. Even though he's one of my favorite characters.
I feel like you were saying Quasar because you thought you were being funny, and now you're stuck.
No, because now I was like, yeah, but I was like, because you started yelling at me, and then I was like, okay.
Because it's incorrect.
Right. So I started like, okay, I'll start saying Quasar.
There you go. But now you get stuck.
No, but part of me was just like, Quasar.
It's like the time when, like, for like 2 years, I couldn't say the word ambulance.
Did you say ambulance?
Yeah, I would try to say it, and I just couldn't say ambulance.
I like when people say ambulance.
I was like, why can't I say this word?
Steve Austin says ambulance.
Ambulance.
I just like that because it just sounds like a completely different thing, but you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way it sounds. I know it's not correct because I won't say ambulance that way, but I just like when his goes ambulance. It amuses me, but that's how they say it. That's how probably a lot of people say it.
Yeah.
Ambulance sounds like a knight. Sir Ambulance.
Sir Ambulance.
Sir Ambulance. Sir Ambulance of...
Sir Ambulance's Lance.
Sir Ambulance's Lance.
Sounds like a weird medieval porn.
Yes. For some reason, I'm also...
A guy dressed like an ambulance, but having sex.
Oh, is it? Oh, maybe he's like the Transformer that turns into an ambulance?
Yes, that's Sir Ambulance.
But that was
when they go back in time.
Well, that was Axel Braun's version of Transformers.
Yeah. Oh, God. Has he made that yet?
Yeah, instead of having... what was this guy's name? The ambulance's name was... Ambulance's name was in Transformers, but it's just... Now he's just Ambulance. It's just a guy...
I was going to say, how does that look? Well, is it just dudes in like...
Well,
they're just all transformed except for their dick. Because remember that superhero one?
Yeah,
was just all Superman outfit, but like a hole in his crotch.
Yeah, usually that's how most of those things go.
That's fucking weird too. When you first see it, you're like, "What? Wait."
I still want
the Batman v Superman one,
right? But I now
we don't have.
But I also want. Part of me is still intrigued to see the Wonder Woman one that they did.
That was a great Wonder Woman outfit.
Well, right, but also Dr. Fate's in it. And Dr. Fate, but Dr. Fate has actual sex.
He gets a blowjob, doesn't he?
He's doing something. He's on the back cover, and it's just like, he's wearing one of them outfits, and he's got his helmet on, and he's like, yeah. And I was saying,
Who does Dr. Fate fuck?
I don't know. Maybe Inza, and then maybe Zatanna shows up, and they get all.
It must be Zatanna, right? It has to be
Zatanna.
I mean, like Livewire was in the Superman Man of Steel.
She had the best line in that movie where she says. I'll paraphrase. She's something to the effect is like, "Fuck me so your girlfriend can live, or your wife can live."
Your wife can live.
Your wife, because he's
wasn't she already dead though? No.
Oh, I don't know. The dense plot of Superman v Batman. It was Man of Steel. Man of Steel.
Because we haven't seen Batman v Superman XXX.
No, but Dr. Fate was also in.
Yes, he was.
Man of Steel, which I will say this, and you will agree with me, much better plot than the actual Man of Steel.
Oh, 100%. So much better, because you can watch the version without any sex in it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it's fine.
It's like 2 minutes, but it's fine.
Yeah, and it's like, here's this, and then this happens, and then this happens, but there's like an actual through line.
Yeah.
And the costumes are pretty good, and then you watch the actual Man of Steel, and you're like, I think the porn was better.
I'm just saying.
Hypothetically, I haven't actually seen the porn.
Yeah.
Why I am a delicate flower.
Yeah.
And I would never.
We are wholesome people.
Never.
Even though we somehow described it accurately.
Oh, I read about it on the internets.
I read a book.
I read
it in a book, Alfred.
The censored internet.
I read it in a book, Alfred.
God, Gotham. Is that show still on?
We haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah, but I don't even know if it came back yet.
I don't know.
Maybe it never will.
I think Bruce got hit by an ambulance.
He probably did.
Actually, it'd be a great. It was on fire too, because mostly everything's on fire.
Remember that flaming train?
Yeah, there's just a randomly just like Gotham flaming train.
That was actually probably the best part of that whole show. 4 seasons or however long it's been on.
Also the flaming bus of nuns. You remember that?
Yes.
Like fucking what's his face? I'm assuming I think it was Joker murdered a bunch. Just set a bunch of nuns on fire.
Something
in a bus
like
or
that.
something. I don't know. Everybody's on fire in that show. It's like L.A.
Yeah, kind of.
Everybody's on fire.
Everyone's on fire or mudslides or, you know, whatever.
Anyways.
Quasar,
the Cosmic Avenger. Number 17 from December 1990. 1990.
Oh, man.
I almost forgot the issue, but, Quasar number 17 from December 1990. And the cover here. Now, this is a Quasar in his original outfit. I think we've done issues of Quasar where he is wearing you got like a newer outfit, like around like issue 30ish or whatever.
Okay.
And he stuck with that. But this is like his original, like it looks more like Crusader or Marvel Boy or whatever. And he's on the cover here, flying towards us at the very top, and then beneath him it says, "Who will be the fastest one alive?"
And the answer to that is always The Flash.
Right.
And then I was like, wait.
But it's not a DC book. So apparently we're doing a race here in the Marvel universe.
Of all the speedsters.
And we have a bunch of losers, as far as I'm concerned, outside of Quicksilver.
Yeah, you've got Quicksilver.
Well, Quicksilver and Captain Marvel, but it's the Monica Rambeau Captain Marvel, who for some reason, like, she doesn't even know why she's there.
No one knows why she's there.
Nobody does.
They just needed a character in this book. They're like, you know what, her.
And she gets
disqualified.
She gets disqualified. He was like, you're not running on the ground. He's like, oh, I guess.
Like,
all right, goodbye.
Sorry, all right. I didn't want to run anyway. Yeah, we have...
Now you have to walk home,
we have the Wizard.
The Wizard, yes.
Captain Marvel.
Makkari.
Speed Demon. Super Saber,
right.
who I'm assuming is just a hockey player.
Ooh, yes.
Black Racer.
It is Dominic Hasek.
Black Racer and Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question. Mm-hmm. Have they ever done, and I'm assuming they must have they ever done like a DC Marvel crossover where the way that the two universes have joined is through the Speed Force?
To my knowledge, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
They should, right?
There was a JLA Avengers crossover at one point, like just that was independent of the DC Marvel thing. I don't know exactly. I don't think that had anything to do with Speed Force. I am certain somebody that is listening can correct us.
I'm sure,
but
because I mean, that makes the most sense. If you were going to get these two universes to like crossover, it makes the most sense that you would have speedsters do it.
Right, but I mean, the Speed Force doesn't necessarily exist in the Marvel universe. I mean, it would make sense.
It makes sense, but if you were saying you have all these speedsters, why couldn't Quicksilver access it? And then all of a sudden, bam, there you go.
All of a sudden, he just shows up in Marvel and DC, and he's like, ah!
Yeah, and they're like, hey, and they're like, oh, now we can have a crossover. I mean, that makes that's a logical way to get these two universes together. If you're ever doing a crossover,
you put a lot more thought into it than anybody else did.
That literally took me 2 seconds.
I know you did. You did really
I didn't think about it at all.
You did really good. You're like that commercial where the people are like, how do we make tacos stand up? And it was like, why don't we make the bottoms flat? And then everybody's like, yay! That's you. We just did this there.
That's right. I have really good ideas.
And so, by the way, like, I have no idea who half of these people are.
Oh yeah, no. I don't know who Super Saber is.
Super Saber and Black Racer, I don't know who they are.
Nope.
And I probably should have done more research.
No.
But, Black Racer, I don't know if that's a lady.
It's a lady. There's boobs.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't even know who this person is.
No, it doesn't matter.
And I read a lot of comics.
You know what? Doesn't matter who those people are.
I don't care. I want to know. All right. So, Reborn to Run.
Yeah. So we are on a ship with Quasar, and
Quasar's standing on the ship.
He's standing on top of it, and who's inside of it? The X something. There's a
the Squadron Supreme.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to remember because this is early. There was a thing where basically Squadron Supreme is from another universe.
Yes.
And they often would cross over with our Marvel, with the 616.
Yeah.
and they somehow got stuck here, and I guess basically they're being they're flying into Earth so that they can
go back to their universe.
They're trying to get back home, but right now they're stuck in our actual universe, so now they have to like go to Earth to hang out or something and figure some stuff out.
Yeah, so as they're coming down to Earth, Quasar sees a streak of light just shoot by him in space.
Because he's standing on top, covered in his cosmic stuff, and then he sees
his cape's a little worse for wear. He's seen some shit.
Yeah, he's having a battle. But he does say riding shotgun, which how long has that been a term? Like the word shot. I feel like
okay, now I'm probably
this is
wrong.
1990, so
no, I'm probably wrong about this, but I thought that the term riding shotgun actually came about in like the Wild West because somebody would sit up there beside the driver of the stagecoach with the shotgun
to keep people away,
to keep people robbers from robbing and whatever. And it might actually even be an older term than that, but I thought it was
that makes a lot of sense.
That's
actually
where I thought I heard that's where it originated. I may be wrong, as we know I am full of shit. No, that is a brilliant.
But you know what? You are on a roll with explanations.
We'll just say I'm right.
Yeah.
Yay.
And I like it. It's a plausible explanation. It is. Yeah. You're on a roll with acceptable theories. That is how I am handling this.
Oh, all right. So, yeah, that's a plausible theory.
I like it.
So he's up there. I'm not sure why he's outside I guess the same reason, to make sure nothing bad happens.
Yeah.
And then this streak of light just like runs by him, and he's like,
what?
He's like, hey, whoever's flying.
He talks to the Dr. Spectrum, and he's like,
there's like some bogey thing out here, and I'm not sure what's going on, but my quantum bands are like going nuts.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know what it is. And he's like, cool. He says something about like, oh, it seemed like somebody was running really fast, and that's where what's-his-face shows up, being like, who was running fast?
Okay, because Makkari, who is an Eternal.
Okay.
He's one of the Eternals, and he somehow, I forget how they get together, but somehow he becomes like...
He's hanging out.
Somehow he become, for like a big chunk of the early part of this book, of not of the series, him and like Quasar,
you said it.
Quasar are like having a bromance.
Yeah.
So like he's always
buddies.
Yeah, they're like buddies. So and I don't know why, because he's just some random Eternal. I can't exactly understand, like just stay with the rest of the Eternals, but I think something happens where he gets thrown into with Quasar, and
sure.
But yeah, Quasar's like, holy shit, they're tachyons, faster than light. So let's
land the ship.
Figure this out.
You guys stay here. I'm gonna wander off.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. And Makkari follows him.
Makkari follows him because speed, and he likes having...
And he's like, oh shit, you're like running, and you're gonna run on the water. He's like, yeah, that's what I do. It's cool. And as they're flying off, talking together, all of a sudden that golden thing that they saw in space shows up.
Right.
And he is
He's one of the elders of the universe. He's the runner.
He's the runner.
He's literally running.
And he's like, hello, humans. I actually like that because that's exactly what he says. Yeah. Hi there, humans.
He's like, hi, humans.
He's
Are you looking for me? And he's like, hi.
He's like, hey, I'm hoping you can find all your speedsters, basically, because I want to have a race.
Yeah.
So where are the fast people?
He's looking...
Where are the fast people at?
Where are the fast people at? He's just on our planet looking for adventure, and he's like, I want to run against people, and I think that's nuts, but whatever.
He's like, okay.
And so, like, Makkari's like, I run the fastest. He's like, well, I'm like running faster than you, so fuck you.
Yeah, and so he runs off, and Makkari like pretty much stops when he's over the ocean.
Yeah.
Almost falls in, and Quasar's like, dude, what the hell? You can't do that. And then he's like, look, you guys are going to race, whatever, but until then, do you want to stay with my dad?
Yeah, for some reason, he's like, let's go hang out with my dad.
He offers to let this guy sleep on his couch, on his dad's couch. Quasar's going to go hang out with his dad and let...
I don't know why he just doesn't have him stay in whatever apartment he has.
I don't know. Is he living with his dad right now?
I don't know.
I don't know what Quasar's living situation
Excuse me, is Quasar living with his dad?
Can somebody answer that?
Man, if there was a Comic-Con at this time and there was a panel for this book, which there wouldn't be.
No, there would never be.
It would just be me and, Mark Grunewald. Just sitting there, R.I.P. Mark Grunewald.
Oh yeah, so you're gonna talk to a dead guy?
So should I go to his burial site?
I was actually gonna suggest a Ouija board.
Oh,
Kind of
Yes.
like that movie Witchboard.
Yes, let's
Where we could get a Ouija board, we could ask him these questions.
but what
we
if-
could disturb his rest, his eternal rest, just to see what he was thinking when he wrote this.
I would have appreciated if that was the actual plot of Witchboard.
What, two nerds trying to contact a dead comic
Somehow
book writer?
Tawny Katane accidentally contacts Mark Grunewald and asks him about Quasar.
That's right. Tawny Katane, by the way, in that movie, so Witchboard is a movie set in the 80s. It's a horror movie.
No, it's not set in the 80s. It is the 80s.
It is the 80s. You can get it on Amazon. It is about people who fuck with a Ouija board, right? Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of shots of people using a Ouija board.
Yeah.
Can I just say that Tawny Katane's nail polish changes like every scene? It's like, now it is red, now it is French, now it is pink, now it is red. It like changes every single time.
Well, because it was in her hands.
They were so dedicated. No, those weren't her hands. They couldn't have been.
No, they were using hand models.
Because it was really nice hands.
Yeah.
Like very pretty hands.
Well, I'm certain Tawny Katane has beautiful hands.
Yeah, but those were like hand model hands.
That's true.
Because even like, beautiful people don't have like perfect hands. These were like, you'd see them in like a lotion ad.
Oh, yeah. Well, so she's, yeah, I know. I wish though she would have contacted Mark Grunewald.
Yeah. Was he dead?
No, he's still alive then.
Well, she could have just called him.
I'm going to use the
I assume
real life Ouija board, the phone.
I assume all famous people know each other. So Tawny Katane was just like, I gotta go in my famous person Rolodex.
Tawny Katane, White Snake, rock video girl, Tawny Katane, and then Marvel comics books editor Mark Grunewald spotted at Spago in Los Angeles having lunch with Pauly Shore and Pee Wee Herman and Alf.
Oh, of course, Alf would be there.
But Alf is not. Alf is just laying there with his face down. And occasionally,
is his face down in some gazpacho?
Yes, he's down in the gazpacho, and then occasionally somebody will walk by and go, ha ha, that'll be.
Do you think we could bring Alf to Spago now?
I think they get you in for free.
Oh yeah, well,
that's how you get into all the good restaurants.
If you show up with the celebrity, they let you in. If we Weekend at Bernie's Alf, we could get into.
Well, that's how he existed. He's a puppet.
They don't know that.
Hollywood hasn't figured out that Alf's a puppet yet.
People don't need to know that.
Guys, Alf is real. Fuck you. Get out of here.
Who else are we going to Weekend at Bernie's? I don't want to actually cart around a dead body. So it's got to be somebody who isn't actually real.
Yeah, I know. We gotta make sure we gotta get some puppets.
Like, how else are we going to get into ink or whatever?
Ink? We just make a reservation.
I'm trying to. Where are the fancy or the Chateau Marmont?
Or what is it? Boa? Is it Boa? What's the one?
What's Mr. Chang's? Is that still
PK Chang's? I can get the PK Chang's.
No. Like Mr. Chang's or something. Like it's like a big deal.
Oh, I know.
Where do the Kardashians go?
I know there's the one that's
where all the assholes
Miz
are.
always go. The Miz and Maurice always go to Boa, which I think is like
Boa?
I think it's a steakhouse over on Sunset.
I'm assuming the Miz only eats meat.
Yeah, the Miz is
veggies.
The Miz is protein. I think Maurice is vegetarian now.
Do you think he like wears his suits? When he
Do you think the Miz can get us in get Alf into Boa?
If we put Alf in a really nice suit, I bet the Miz would let us come hang out.
If I put Alf in a tuxedo,
I think you'd have to wear a nice suit though, because if you show up and not in a nice suit hanging out with the Miz, he's not going to let you in.
I should have asked him. I met the Miz before. I should have been like, Miz, would you?
Was he wearing a nice suit?
No, he wasn't. The Miz
Bullshit.
wasn't. No, Miz was just wearing. Have you seen the picture? He looks like just a regular dude. He was casualing up.
I'm sure like his jeans were probably expensive.
Oh, he was.
Because I have to say, the Miz dresses very well.
The Miz knows how to dress.
He really does. Every single time I see him, I'm like, Miz looks
I'll
great.
never forget that time he had those beautiful Argyle socks.
Yeah.
Remember, it was like purple and black and white, and
Fucking great.
And matched his vest. And,
Yeah. Miz looks good.
You know what's funny is the other day too, there was a picture of all these wrestlers that were at the New York Stock Exchange to like ring the bell. They let them do that occasionally, and Roman Reigns was there.
Was he wearing a hoodie?
He was wearing the suit coat with the fleece underneath and the shirt.
Someone needs to keep
I don't
that man
understand
indoors.
that.
Like, they shouldn't even let him out of the house.
Why is he doing that? That's
Roman Reigns is a very beautiful man.
Yes.
And then he wears fleece with a fucking suit. And he just ruins the whole thing.
That's gotta be super warm. Is he trying to lose weight or something? Like, is he trying to is that like his Martin Lawrence?
Does he feel like? Does he feel like he needs to have some like thick something or?
Because he wears the shield vest.
Because he wears the shield vest.
Yeah. I don't
because
know.
maybe if he wears just a normal shirt, he looks too small.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, like he's not like a small
This
dude.
is your third great explanation. of the podcast.
Well, I'm going to yell at him and be like, take that fucking thing off. Continue just being a
is that your sign when you say, as a Roman, why you wear fleece as a suit?
Yes.
We're like, what?
I'm just going to have the picture of him with an arrow just says why. Just why. Just circled with an arrow and it just says why.
Why? Why?
Tell me that wouldn't get on TV.
So getting back to this dumb book.
Oh, yeah, we're reading the comic.
So actually, here's the thing. I thought the Quasar lived in Wisconsin, but apparently he lives in Connecticut.
Sure.
So shows up in Connecticut.
To hang out with, and his dad's like an astrophysicist or something?
Yeah, his dad's a scientist, a master of guy, and he's whatever. And
Quasar gets there, and he's like, hey, Dad.
Well, no, he gets in, and he's like, hey, my dad and I have been having some deals. Maybe he'll
be cool because you're here.
Because you're here. And he's like, so at this point, from what I understand, he's already introduced... so Quasar is actually, I thought it was the other way around, but I'm almost positive that Quasar let him know he's friends with Eon or the space broccoli.
Yeah.
And so when he's been talking with, like, his father has been talking with him about talking with Eon or whatever. So, but he walks in.
And his dad's just sitting at the table like a fucking creep because he's sitting at the table in the dark.
Yeah, he's not eating American cheese.
You know what that is? That's Dad's having some problems. But he is, because you see that later. He's having some serious problems.
Well, he's fully dressed, which is surprising.
Yeah, because he's sitting there at the table with the lights off, and Quasar's like, hey, man. And his dad's like, hello.
Hi.
And he's like, hey, this is my friend. He goes to shake his friend's hand, and his dad doesn't move. He's like, okay, well, all right, Dad, we're going to go, like, play video games or something. Don't mind us. We're wearing capes.
Did he say role play video games?
No.
Oh, she was like, we're going to play Super NES.
And he leaves. He's like, good night. But then you see, like, coming out of the dishwasher are these, like...
Well, that's Eon.
Is that Eon?
Okay, so what happened was...
Tentacles?
The issue, I think, before this, his dad had, like, a heart attack and died.
Oh, so Eon's, like, keeping him alive?
So Eon is weakened
at Bernie's, this guy.
Oh, I've taken a picture of this before, and I've posted this. I've said he is weekend at Bernie'ing his...
He's trying to get into Spago.
Yes, he's got our plan. God damn you, Eon.
He's always one step ahead of us.
Well, he is omniscient. Or
omniscient?
Omniscient.
Yeah.
Omniscient. Omnivorous.
Omnipotent?
Yeah, but he's omnipotent, whatever.
Yeah, all right.
And then, Quasar's like, oh, my dad is sure weird. I do also, I'm pretty fascinated because he has a nice cup of coffee there. And I was like, did Eon make the coffee for him? He's like, I got to keep up appearances because I am a cosmic being. And
I mean, yeah, I'm assuming he gets hungry.
Who, Quasar?
No.
Eon?
Yeah.
No, Eon doesn't eat.
But he does eat.
No, he doesn't.
We see him eat.
When?
In this book.
Oh, we do see him eat. I think he's eating for... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
But there isn't a specific issue where Quasar is like, I'm going to lunch. Eon, do you want anything? He's like, I do not require foodstuffs.
Wouldn't you just want it anyway? Like, Superman doesn't either, but Superman still eats burgers.
Well, he is a space broccoli, so he doesn't really need it.
Neither does Superman. He just needs to sit in the sun like a fucking palm tree.
Oh, but it tastes good. So, anyway, so Quasar just like, well, you know what? I'm going to take...
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to take my buddy to work.
I'm going to take my buddy to work because he runs this security company on, like, some random floor of the Fantastic Four building.
Sure.
And somehow he's able to pay this rent.
So they go in, and his buddy's there, and he's just, like, wearing a Hawaiian shirt. And, like,
he's dressed like Ace Ventura for some reason.
He's dressed like Ace Ventura, but he also... is Conan O'Brien, because look at his hair's like got that same.
That is Conan.
He's a really tall dude, and he's like wearing shorts, and he's got Conan hair.
Yeah, he shows
apparently Conan is an Eternal or something.
Oh, the Conan the Fast Eternal. I like that. The fastest Eternal.
The fastest Eternal. So they show up, and I remember this chick from...
This is Kayla.
Yeah, I remember her.
Because
she dresses like she should be in the club when she's, like, working. Well, she's wearing a strapless gown.
She's wearing exactly.
She is literally like, I'm at work, and she's wearing, like, a strapless gown that you'd wear to the fucking Oscars. I'm like, what are you doing?
But that is his secretary. And
also the chicky bones, right?
At some point...
They do bone.
I think they bone. I think they have a relationship, but it never gets fully...
Boned?
Fully, yeah, they never really...
Is it half in?
Yeah, he goes half. no, something happens where so they started like she's always flirting with them, and he's kind of like, oh, work relationship, whatever. Don't shit where you eat.
Yeah.
And then at some point they do get together, but then like she gets like abducted into like the new universe somehow, which is another universe in the Marvel universe, and then Quasar like forgets about her, and then he finally comes back. He's like, hey, I'm here to save you, and she's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because something happens where she gets like she doesn't know that he's Quasar. None of these people know he's Quasar.
Right.
But like at some point she gets roped in with all of this bullshit. Because I think we've read an issue where she gets roped in with like all this stuff, and she ends up getting screwed pretty bad.
Of course she does.
She's
a woman in a comic book.
Yeah,
congratulations.
She ends up being like, you know what? You suck. I'm gonna stay here in the new universe with another guy because this guy likes me, and you suck, Quasar. And that's how it goes.
That makes me think that I bought this book called The Refrigerator Monologues.
Right.
Which is a collection of short stories by Catherine M. Valentine? Valentini?
Valente.
Valent, sure. And I got it on Amazon, but it's a bunch of short stories basically based on all the women who die in comic books. So heroes can feel pain. Mm-hmm. I wonder if she has a story in here. Because obviously it's not the actual character. They're all thinly veiled. But, you get one.
She didn't
women
die.
in refrigerators.
No, she didn't die, but she did get her head shaved.
Yeah.
She wasn't happy about that.
So yeah, I'm gonna read that. I'm excited about that. So FYI, that's somewhat.
Well, you have to tell people about what you finish reading it. You have to tell people.
I will.
About
It's thin. It's a very small book.
Yeah, read on.
And it has a blurb from Kelly Sue DeConnick on the back. So
nice.
There's that.
She sends you texts.
She does send me texts.
Well, she sends everybody's texts.
Yeah, because you bitches get things done or whatever. Yeah.
So basically, at some point when Quasar was gone, because Quasar has gone a lot. He's a really shitty boss.
Yeah.
And he's gone a lot.
He's got a lot of PTO.
And he comes in and everybody's like, hey, we've got business going. And he's like, well, I gotta go. Goodbye.
Well, no. What happens is they're like, hey,
Beezy's back.
Miss whatever her name is.
Miss Steckley. So okay, I can explain this.
Okay.
So Miss Steckley is somebody that he hired to work for him, or somebody to do something for the company.
Right.
And she was getting nosy.
Yeah.
And looking around.
Well, yeah, they were like, hey, she went to the bathroom and we never saw her again. We don't know what happened. She was in your office for a while, but I don't know. She just never showed up. And Quasar was like, oh, she was in my office? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, oh, fuck. So he runs into his office because Eon is behind his bookcase. Because
that's where he keeps his space broccoli. And by the way, Miss Steckley ends up being Moondragon. And she's there to check some shit out or whatever.
I see.
But yeah,
okay.
There's something with that.
So he goes back to see Eon.
Yeah.
To see what's going on. And
because he's worries oh, what if she was the cosmic assassin to kill my mentor? She's going to steam my space broccoli.
Yeah. And he goes back. He's like, oh my God, he's gone. Where the fuck is he? And he's calling for him. And then he shows up and he's like, hello.
Well, he was actually there. He was
me.
He was just being tiny.
Yeah, he was small.
He was being tiny. And then
he's
he becomes
I am
big.
small.
And so, look, I think we've talked about Eon before. But basically, Eon is if Conan O'Brien was also a head of broccoli.
Yeah.
But he also had a giant eye on the side of his face.
Yeah, it's kind of like a conjoined twin that didn't form properly, stuck to the side of this dude's head.
It's gross.
He's really,
how would you not be constantly screaming?
You'd have to be. Also, I really think the only answer to why this character exists is cocaine.
Oh, it's definitely drugs. Jim Starlin created it, and Jim Starlin he did all the cosmic stuff, so he was probably on all sorts of stuff.
You got to be on something, because holy fuck.
Allegedly, I don't know. I'm saying, I'm just assuming, that he
it was set the 70s.
It's the 70s. That's how you did it.
Yeah, I think it's you woke up in the 70s and somebody just handed you cocaine.
Yeah.
You just bought it like morning coffee.
So I like because Quasar, the way Quasar talks to him is Quasar talks to him as if he doesn't really know how to speak in because Eon's very I am a cosmic entity.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah,
right.
Very cryptic speech or whatever. And Quasar's like, yo, what up, man? Hey, so is everything? And he literally goes, is everything cool?
Yeah.
And, Eon's like, yes, it is cool.
Yes.
And basically he's like, look, I think I'm doing pretty good as this job. I'm glad you're here. I'm doing better. And he's like, I'm glad to hear that. And then I forgot what happened, but basically, he's talking to Quasar,
Quasar goes to leave.
Quasar goes to leave, but as he's leaving, Eon spies a floating women's shoe.
Yeah.
And then promptly eats it.
Yeah. Oh, he pops that in his mouth like it's a Tide Pod. He's just like, look right in, just like right on in there. But it's in the other. It's not in his human-y face. It's in his eyeball mouth face.
Yeah. Apparently, he has an eyeball mouth, which I didn't realize, and it has teeth and everything. And
that's really really gross.
And actually, because he goes. Oh.
Yeah, he eats like a Tide. He's a fucking teenager on the internet, and he's like, I'm gonna eat this Tide Pod. Now I have to go to the emergency room.
Is that how you defeat Eon? You throw Tide Pods at him?
I don't know. Gronk says don't eat them.
Oh, good.
So, I mean...
I'm listening to Gronk.
I was going to say, if there's anybody I'm going to listen to.
So, anyway, okay, so now we're back with... So now we're basically, the rest of this book is just, like, a bunch of people racing.
Yeah.
So, like, now we have Makkari, and he's, like...
Talking to the
He's like, yo,
guy,
I should go and, like...
The runner.
I'm trying to figure this out, and...
Oh, because the runner drops by to tell him the rules.
Yeah.
But Makkari's just like, meh. And so the runner's like, all right, well, don't train too hard, because... you need your rest. So, Makkari was like, fuck that guy. I'm faster than him. Blah, blah, blah. Like having a whiny bitch.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, I'm going to stop on this random island because I guess my calf hurts.
Yeah.
So he stops. Whatever.
An island. It's literally just an island with a palm tree on it.
Yeah.
Do those actually exist?
I can't imagine. Like, I feel like that's something that they just drew in old cartoons, right? They're not real things. But apparently it's a real thing.
Real thing. And then for some reason... Quasar calls Dr. Spectrum to be like, yo, why don't you oh no, he's trying to tell him because they're supposed to get the squadron back to their team.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Spectrum's like, hey, well, Wizard's going to be in the race too. Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
So we
go to wherever this race is supposed to be held. I'm assuming the desert somewhere.
It's in the American Southwest.
So Arizona.
So we're having some Tex-Mex.
Yeah, it's Arizona. And so all these people show up.
Bobby Flay's catering.
So all these people show up, and Quasar's like, well, I'm going to come and see what's going on. And he's like, okay, well, who are all these people? Because I don't even think I recognize all of them.
Right.
Because, there's more, was that guy on the cover? I don't...
Well, no, this is Dr. Spectrum bringing Wizard.
That's right. Okay, there's
Wizard. And there's Runner, there's Speed Demon, who's a Spider-Man villain, and there's...
Captain Marvel,
Black Racer... Super Saber doing calisthenics.
Yeah, there's
Quicksilver getting out of there.
So everybody gets there, and they're like, oh, well, where's, Makkari? And he's like, I don't know. He'll be here. And he's like, so how are you going to actually do this without attracting any sort of attention? I mean, you've got 8 people here.
Real quick, I just want to say there is a full-color ad centerfold in here for a number of Tiger Electronic games.
Yeah, I remember those.
Did you ever play any of these?
I think I played a couple. I never had one.
I had many of these.
Some friends of mine did, but
I had
didn't
many of these,
one.
and they suck ass, but I used to love them.
Yeah.
It was always the biggest deal to have one.
Yeah.
All those things back in the 80s, these cost $20.
Oh, I know. That's why we never had any.
I had this Batman one, I think.
I did have friends who had these, but I never had one myself.
It's garbage.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's garbage. Yeah. It's garbage toys.
Yeah. So
I want one.
The runner is like, here's this quantum thing.
He's like, look, I made a hole, and look, I made a racetrack to the moon.
You know what it basically is it's like if you're at an airport and you have to go from terminal to terminal.
Right.
That's what it is.
Oh yeah, nice.
You're just walking down one of those.
Oh, is this the Denver airport?
Yeah, this is DIA.
Are they gonna race around DIA? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully they don't run around that horse. I might fall on them.
You mean Blucifer?
Blucifer.
It did kill its creator.
I hope Blucifer falls on Super Saber.
I don't know why they decided to put it by the airport, but you know what? Whatever.
Hey, why not?
Why not? It's a fucking weird airport.
It's haunted.
Is it haunted?
From what I hear, it is.
I thought it was Illuminati'd.
It's something.
It's really fucked up and weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's like, all right, so we're going to run through DIA. But basically, DIA stretches from here to the moon.
Yeah. We're going to the moon, bitch.
Yeah, basically going to the moon.
Makkari shows up and he's like, all right, let's do this.
Let's do this shit, man.
So apparently, okay, well, there's a rules here. We get to learn here that basically it the environment simulates conditions on all of your planets at sea level. Mm-hmm. And there are comfort stations every 107 kilometers for those who need nutritional replenishment or waste management.
Oh, but the runner isn't running.
No.
And then Makkari gets kind of pissed about that.
Yeah.
Well, because he's like, oh no, because he's like, you're the one I want to try my skills against. Obviously, I am the fastest man on the planet. I don't really know why these speedsters get so fucking hung up on being the fastest.
I don't know why any of
Isn't
them
it
would want
enough to be like, holy fuck, I can literally run around the world in like 5 seconds?
Yeah.
So what if somebody can do it in 4?
I don't think. Here's the thing. Like, even to like with Flash and Superman, be like, who's the fastest? Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Who the fuck cares?
Are you good at your job? That's all I care about.
Though I do have to say, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but I think the one amazing scene in Justice League was when Superman wakes up from being dead.
Yeah.
And the Flash runs to like go behind him and Superman just turns his head.
Yeah.
That was fucking great.
That was pretty cool.
And I was like, why isn't there more of this?
That was actually, I think it feels like a takeoff of something from the New 52, the first issue of the Justice League, when they all meet each other, but they don't know each other.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where there's a deal where Flash is running at Superman because they don't know each other, so I guess they're all attacking each other. He's running around Superman, and Superman just goes blink with his finger and knocks his ass out.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that in the movie, which, that was an awesome part.
That was
actually that whole part where Superman wakes up and he's angry, he's an angry zombie.
Yeah.
And he's throwing like his own head at people.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
That was good. That was probably that was my favorite scene.
If it was just 2 hours of that, I'd be fine with that.
Because honestly, when Flash, because everything's so slow with the Flash, and he's running, and all of a sudden Superman just at the same speed just turns his fucking head, and I was like, oh my god, like it was so good.
Because fucking he's Superman.
He's fucking Superman. That's amazing. How cool is that?
They got something right.
Right. That was great.
So so they're racing, and everybody's just like,
I mean, basically they're all thinking. Like Makkari's like, oh, I gotta win, and
I do like we get thoughts here from everybody thinking about this race as they're running. We get Speed Demon saying, "Arg, how can there be so many persons faster than me? All of my prison stays must have ruined my conditioning. I blame prison. It has not changed me."
And there's just people thinking, like, what is Quicksilver thinking over
Quicksilver's
there?
like, basically, like, I used to live on the moon because of, his wife's a human. So he's like, years I spent living on the moon with its 1/6 Earth gravity may be my undoing. Muscle mass, stamina, all diminished.
And, like, I think the only one really enjoying herself is Captain Marvel. She's like, I can do this. But that's when the runner shows up next to her and is like, hey, you're not actually touching the ground. You're kind of flying, so you're disqualified.
Yeah, she's kind of like, I don't even know why she's there. Like, I don't know. You can't tell me that there's not another person.
Or why they even needed her. I
in
guess
the Marvel universe
like,
that could run fast?
Maybe they were just like, dude, this is a sausage fest. We need to get one woman in here. Quick. Captain Marvel.
Sure. I don't know. She just seems so out of place.
It's pointless. And she's like, okay, bye guys. And so, as that's all happening, something streaks by outside of the tube.
Yeah.
The DIA tube. And Quasar's like, what the fuck is that, man? But then it shows up in the tube, like in front of all the other runners.
Right.
And I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Okay.
He looks like the Flash, if the Flash lost everything but his pants.
Actually, it looks like Peter David Aquaman with like wearing Flash trunks.
Flash trunks and yellow boots.
Yellow boots, and he's just some random ass dude. I don't know who this is. I probably should look it up. I'm certain Marvel Wiki would tell me, but
maybe it's supposed to be. Like, it doesn't make sense that it would be, but whatever. He's like only wearing trunks. It looks like his pants have been ripped off.
Yeah, ripped.
And he's like, "Oh my god, I have form again. Here I am.
I am a man. I must run." And
he's
runs.
like, "I must run." So he just fucking takes off and he just passes everybody.
He fucking suns everybody.
Yeah. Quasar's like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, nobody, because Quasar's like, yeah, who's this guy running? This is weird. You know, and he just smokes everybody. It's down to like Makkari and Whizzer.
Yeah, and Makkari's like, oh, fuck, I'm going to totally win. And he passes Whizzer, and he's like, I'm going to do it. No one can beat me. And then this dude comes up from behind.
Yeah.
This guy that just showed up, and he wins.
He wins.
And Makkari's like, what the fuck? That was supposed to be me. I was supposed to win. I don't know why they care. Because I guess there was a prize, and the prize is to go with the runner.
Yeah. Which actually is kind of...
That's a shitty prize.
Quasar kind of like goes, because after... Okay, yeah, because he gets to the end. Because Quasar hurries up and gets to the end.
Yeah.
To the race, and he's like, the runner's there, and he's like, no, like, somebody came in this tube, and like, they're coming, and he's like, I'm here to see if it's hostile. And he's like, you worry too much, Quasar.
Yeah.
And it ends up being this guy, and the guy's like, I don't know who I am, but...
And he's like, well, you win, so come with me.
Buried alien, he says. I don't know.
Sure.
But he's like, what's it feel like to be the fastest man alive? He's like, it feels good.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know who I am. I think this is great. And then they leave together, and Quasar, like, gives Makkari some, like, good words or something, because Makkari's, like, crying.
Yeah. Because Quasar's upset because...
Like, I lost, oh my god. And he's like, you're the fastest man on this earth, because we don't know where that guy came from. And, and he's like, you're a good friend, Quasar. And that's the end.
Well, he's like, I'm glad you didn't win, because then you would have to go with, like, the runner and whatever.
Wherever that's...
Become his... Friend somewhere? I don't know. Yeah. The elders are weird.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go with that guy.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't know why that guy showed up. I don't know why there was a race. I'm sure there was probably in the next book. Maybe not. Maybe it never comes up again.
It's just a way to end it and not actually have anybody be the winner.
Yeah.
It's just be like some random ass dude.
If they ever bring that guy back.
Because then they can't say, well, somebody is faster than another person. Right. Marvel people would be like, well, I don't know who that guy was, but it doesn't matter. Maybe it was Mark Grunewald.
Oh, maybe that was supposed to be him.
Maybe it was Mark Grunewald that decided.
Maybe it was the Flash stuck in the Speed Force.
Oh, maybe that's what they're trying to tell us.
And they're like, "Oh, the Flash showed up."
Was this a crossover?
Yes, it was.
Was that Barry Allen?
It was. It was Barry Allen. He
could have been Barry Allen because Barry was blonde.
Yeah, well, and he's been lost for so long. He had a beard and long hair.
This was before. Yeah, definitely. He was gone for a long time.
And then he's like, "I don't know who I am, but I got to run, and I win, and now I'm going to go hang out with that guy." So the Flash technically faster than any Marvel character.
Well, he probably is.
Probably.
Let's be honest. He probably is faster than Quicksilver and all that.
Yeah, because he can tap into the Speed Force, where Quicksilver's just
a mutant and knows how to run.
Yeah,
I like Quicksilver. He's all cranky.
He is cranky.
He's a cranky man.
Yeah,
and he's always very protective of Wanda. Mm-hmm. So he's always very cranky.
She was drawn in the background there somewhere.
Was she?
Yeah, she's in the background when like Quicksilver shows up.
Oh, is she in the ship?
Yeah, she's in the background. Not this one. Yeah, there she is right there.
Oh, she took a ride with him. Nice.
Yeah, she's gonna cheer her brother on.
Yeah, cheer her brother on. And she didn't get to watch.
Yeah. And then she just sits there and goes, "Oh, you guys went to the moon. Bye."
I'm not going to go to the moon. Where's the moon? It's kind of like us when we hear about a concert we want to go to. I'm like, I don't want to go.
It doesn't start till midnight.
Fear Factory starts at midnight, and it's all the way in downtown. It's already...
it's in Hollywood. Gotta find somewhere to park, and gotta get up in the morning.
I guess I gotta take an Uber, but do I want to take an Uber?
I don't know. I don't really like Uber's business practices, and... it just becomes a whole
the perils
thing.
Of being over 30.
So I know, let's just stay home and do nothing.
I like it.
Good call.
Watch Witchboard. Well,
it is enjoyable.
That's it for the book. That's it for Quasar, the Cosmic Avenger, number 17 from December 1990. Would you read the next issue of this?
Maybe. I didn't hate this.
No, I love Quasar. I have to say, the first 20, I mean, all of the issues are great as far as I'm concerned, but let's say definitely at least the first 20 or 30 issues of this book are just weird cosmic stuff with a character that he's very naive, but at the same time he's just trying to figure it out, and he's working hard, and he means well, and he fucks up a lot, but he learns from his mistakes, and he, at some point during, I think it's Infinity War, he ends up playing a very big role in helping save people, in that, but I like him. I like it a lot. So, and this is a great book. So, I just like the fuck you ending on this too. It's kind of fun.
Just like, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure
he's like, you worry too much, Quasar. Fuck you. Bye.
That's pretty much the people that wrote this book being like, you fans don't talk to us.
We are faster than you.
No, just being like, yeah, because people are gonna be like, Quasar is not faster. Makkari is not faster than Quicksilver. Meh. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's this guy. Who's a winner? This guy
that we just pulled out of nowhere.
Arthur Curry, Ultimate Dimension Arthur Curry.
Yeah,
is your winner. So, well, that's it for this week's show. Thank you for listening. You can find myself on Twitter and Instagram at Angry Hero Shawn.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.wordpress.com. Find us on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever. Email us, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
And, of course, you can find us on all of your podcast platforms. Please rate and subscribe and give us the best review you can. If you're on Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. We would really appreciate that. We'll be back next week when we talk about our 10-cent
experience.
Who
knows? Maybe we'll have a book to read from that sale. We don't know.
I am certain we will.
Who knows? We'll find out.
I will spend $1 and get 10 copies
as long as it's not raining.
Terror Inc. #1. And we'll have to read them for 10 consecutive weeks.
Oh my God.
Aren't you guys in for a treat?
That sounds like the play No Exit.
Exactly.
We're waiting for Godot. It's just here we are, just like reading the same book 10 times, Groundhog Day in it up.
If somebody could please review us and say they're the Waiting for Godot of comic book podcasts, give us 5 stars. I would appreciate that.
That'd be great. Thank you.
That would be dope. So, thanks again for listening, folks, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.